Wasted World of Sports, ahoy. Good morning, good morning. Bright and early here in Australia, 5 o'clock in the morning, ready for the Rugby World Cup kickoff. Trying to be anyway, just quietly. Oh, can't believe I actually made it. Backing up from the NRL finals earlier tonight. Connor Crowley, ahoy there. Mr. Ed's Dead, ahoy, and R. Nichols, ahoy. Thank you very much for joining me. As I said, bright and early for me. Saturday morning, 5 a.m. Rugby World Cup, about 12 minutes away from kickoff. I'm excited. This is what I've been waiting for all year. And I can't wait for it to begin. And it is starting with an absolute blockbuster. France versus the All Blacks. Some big news coming through. Breaking news. All Blacks captain Sam Cane ruled out of the World Cup opener through injury. More injuries. Both teams suffering on the injury front. But that's quite big news. Sam Cane out. Not going to be playing tonight. Dalton Papali'i will step in and take on the number 7 role for the All Blacks. Who will be captain? Who will be captain? They haven't told us that yet. We'll find out. Who will the All Blacks name as captain in place of Sam Cane? Big news. Straight away. Oh, this game. I can't wait for it to begin. It's going to be a tough encounter. France versus the All Blacks. I'm trying to remember the last time that we had a Rugby World Cup opener. So intense. Oh, Shack of Hearts, don't remind me. Oh, we saw a very nasty, speaking of injuries, we saw one nasty injury earlier tonight in the NRL. Oh, wow. Ryan Papenhuyzen. Unbelievable bad luck. But yes, Sam Cane ruled out. That is the big news, the big late breaking news to come out of this. France versus the All Blacks, eh? That's what we've got coming up here. France versus the All Blacks, a rivalry that goes back years. It's a real Rugby World Cup rivalry, France versus the All Blacks. How many times have France stepped up and broken New Zealand hearts over the years? But then, of course, the All Blacks, they got their revenge on home soil in the Rugby World Cup final. What was it, 2011? No, Shack of Hearts, no, stop it. Okay, Shack of Hearts, you've come into the chat room. You've brought up the Ryan Papenhuyzen incident. I was trying to forget that. And now you're bringing up 2007. Stop it. Stop it. And definitely let's not talk about 1999. Anyway, all right, I'm doing it to myself now. But that is the late breaking news here. Sam Cane is out. I'll be very curious to see who is going to be captain in his place. Mr. Ed's Dead says, go All Blacks, go. Yes. I don't know what happened. In 1999 was a very interesting one, wasn't it? There was some, I reckon we need to check out what was in the halftime juice. Because France came out after halftime a completely different outfit, didn't they? Dan Carter is out on the field unveiling the Rugby World Cup as if it's some sort of big surprise, and we've never seen it before. We know what it looks like. Buffalo, ahoy there. Welcome along, Buffalo. Greetings from Cape Town. But this is probably going to be one of the most tightly contested Rugby World Cups of all time, in my opinion. There are so many teams capable of winning. A lot more so. And I mean legitimately capable of winning. We like to talk about it. Every 4 years, we like to talk about the possibilities. But this year, I truly believe it. I mean, we are even We're even drilling down as far as Scotland. Scotland are a more than capable team this year. Vobsy, ahoy there, mate. Good morning. Good morning, my Australian friends. Bright and early, 5 a.m. But yes, we like to talk about it every time the Rugby World Cup rolls around and think that it's going to be competitive. It usually comes down to the same one or two teams, 3 if we're lucky. But this one, I truly believe, is up in the air, legitimately up in the air. There are absolutely any number of teams that could go all the way. And this is a big start to it. The All Blacks versus France, a rivalry. So many quality encounters in the Rugby World Cup. Buffalo says France to win by 5. I think it will be that close. And look, for the loser, all is not lost. As we were talking about earlier, during the NRL finals, it's happened before where a team has lost their opening encounter and gone on to find themselves in the Rugby World Cup final competing, if not gone on to win. So all will not be lost for the loser, but for the winner, a big statement as the All Blacks come out onto the field. Now that looks like, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen an All Blacks team walking out onto a field looking like they're under so much pressure. This is a team walking out looking like they're feeling the pinch just a little bit. Nerves are there, clearly. Understanding of the occasion. France looking very relaxed, comparatively, except for that guy. That one guy looks incredibly nervous. It must be his debut or something. His first ever Rugby World Cup match. For a lot of these guys, it probably is their first Rugby World Cup match. Both teams are in the sheds, ready to walk out. Game faces on. And this is going to be such a good game. I can't wait. I'm so glad that I got up for this. As we know, with the wasted world of sports, sometimes it's very hit or miss. Will I actually make it up? Especially when it's on this early in the morning. But there was no way I was missing this. This is what I've been waiting for all year. Rugby World Cup time. Both teams out onto the field. Look at this. It's an absolute sellout. It's a packed house. Bobsy says Uruguay and Romania will dominate everyone. Teams out on the field. Still no word as to who the All Blacks captain is. I'll try and find that out for you. Sam Cane, of course, out. Sam Cane ruled out through injury. That is the big late breaking news. I'm trying to find out for you who the captain will be in his place. We've got an entire choir here to do the national anthems. This is insane. I think there's actually more people on the ground singing the anthems than there are in the ground. I've never seen anything quite like this. Tensions are running high. I'm still trying to find out who the captain is for the All Blacks. Does anyone in the chat room know? Hang on, I'll go to Planet Rugby. PlanetRugby.com, a valuable source of information, usually. And nope, nothing about the captaincy. Okay, everyone's letting me down tonight. All good, though. All good. Oh, it's finally here. I hope that everyone's as excited as I am. Rugby World Cup 2023. France versus the All Blacks. What a game to start with as well. Could there have been any better match to kick off this tournament? Realistically. Lots of support in the crowd for the All Blacks. Obviously, it's going to be overwhelming support for the home team. But still, lots of supporters there in the crowd. A very intimidating looking stadium. That kid has no idea what's happening. That was hilarious. A kid in the crowd, probably their first rugby game. What an experience, though, to look back and go, I had no idea what was happening, but that was me in the crowd there. My very first rugby game was the World Cup opener in 2023. If only I knew what was happening to appreciate it more. The entire crowd is in song. This is a very intimidating sound. The entire crowd is joining in with the anthem. They are completely off sync with the players, but they are singing along. And now, how do France respond to the haka? France have come up with some very, very ingenious ways of responding to the haka in the past. What do they do here? Do they march forward? Do they stand back and take it? Let's find out. They've walked to the sideline. They've got the tracksuits off. The All Blacks go and prepare for the haka. France very slowly wandering back out onto the field. The 1,000 choir kids start filing their way off the field. Oh, actually, the All Blacks have not gone straight into the haka. They've gone into a huddle. The All Blacks have gone not into formation for the haka. They have gone into a huddle. And so this is interesting. This is something very new. They will be starting the haka, a circle around Aaron Smith. Now this is something different. Here they go now. The All Blacks break from the huddle and get in formation for the haka, led as usual by Aaron Smith. What do they pull out here? The traditional kamate or kapawango? Which one will it be? It's a big occasion. Kapawango usually comes out for the big occasions. And let's see where things are at. Oi! Kapawango, it seems, has been broken out, signaling that this is indeed a very, very big occasion. Now, here's a question. Have France ever been on the receiving end of this version of the haka? Vobsy says, me personally, I would respond to the haka with a speech saying, cute little dance, now we win. Just to end up being folded like a cardboard box and beat by 70. Well, actually, Vobsy, not quite the same. But I do recall there was one time when the Wallabies decided that they would respond to the haka by not watching at all. They didn't watch. They decided they would go down the other end of the field and do warm-ups while the haka was being presented. And, yeah, I think the All Blacks won 46-0 that day. So there we go. France have now slowed the game down. Well, not that the game started, but they've They've gone in a huddle of their own. Here, the French. And New Zealand, Kapowango was the haka of choice. Ardie Savea, there we go. I can officially tell you now, Ardie Savea will be the captain of the team now that Sam Cane has been ruled out of this match. All Blacks France Rugby World Cup 2023. We are ready to get underway. Just moments away. Neither team seems like they're in a hurry. Oh. I actually feel like I've got more energy than both teams at the moment. Kanye Ketchup, ahoy mate. How you doing? All right, let's go. Come on. I am definitely more excited than the players, it seems. A lot of nerves out there tonight. This is a huge game in the context of the tournament. Let's go, let's go. Rugby World Cup 2023. Oh, we're still fluffing about. It is an absolute packed house. Look at that. That camera is panning around the ground, not an empty seat in the stadium. Jaco Piper, the referee, a quality referee, blows his whistle and we're underway. Rugby World Cup 2023 is underway. And the kickoff, France clear immediately. Ramos, the fullback, puts it into touch on halfway. Richie Mo'unga threatens a quick throw, but no, that is a solid start for the French. Receiving the kickoff, clearing up towards halfway. The crowd is electric. First throw is perfect. Pinpoint perfect. And straight through the gap goes Rieko Ioane. What a start this is for the All Blacks off the base of the line out. They've gone straight through. Front foot ball. Will Jordan out to Barrett. Beauden Barrett beats the first tackle. The All Blacks are 15 out from the line. Presented to Smith. Hands in the ruck there, and it will be a penalty. Diving over. And the All Blacks have an opportunity here for first points. Oh, they've tapped and gone. Aaron Smith taps and goes. Penalty advantage. France caught napping. Everyone caught napping. 2 meters out from the line here, the All Blacks on this right-hand edge of the field. Mo'unga to Barrett. Barrett puts the crossfield kick in. There's nobody out here for France, and it's a try. The All Blacks have scored inside the first 2 minutes. Beauden Barrett with the crossfield kick. And Talea will score the first try of the Rugby World Cup. What a start for the All Blacks. Who saw this coming? Beauden Barrett with the crossfield kick. Talea unmarked. Just needed the bounce. Got it. Try time. The All Blacks are up 5-0. What a start to this game. It all goes back to the line out on halfway. Rieko Ioane just bursts straight through the gap. And I think that has taken everybody by surprise. 5-0, All Blacks kick to come. Richie Mo'unga has... Oh, the crowd is in stunned silence right now. Absolute stunned silence. As I think we all might be. Richie Mo'unga from the sideline. Moves in, strikes it. It's on target. It's just hooking to the left. The crowd ruptures in applause. And it stays 5-0. But regardless of the conversion, what a start for the All Blacks. Taleo with the first try of the Rugby World Cup, getting us back underway. That kick was way in front of the halfway line. Not really something that gets cracked down on, though, to be honest. So not to worry. And now a penalty to France. The All Blacks caught holding on here. And here's an opportunity for 3 points back for France. Take the 3! This early in the game, surely you take the 3. Look, I'm going to put this on the screen. It says take the 2. But I assure you, we have brand new merchandise launched just for the Rugby World Cup. Instead of take the 2, it simply says take the 3. But it's the same shirt. Take the 3. Both teams. Very frantic start. Points galore out there. 4.5 minutes gone. And we're about to see 8 points scored. Thomas Ramos with the kick. A very easy, a gift 3-pointer here for the French. The home team. That will bring the crowd right back into play as it sails right through the middle of the post. And it's 5 points to 3. Points out the wazoo here. This could turn out to be a very, very big scoring game. Frantic at the moment as Jordie Barrett now gets us back underway. We've seen 3 kickoffs inside the first 5 minutes. That is a big clearance way over halfway. This time Mo'unga does go quick. Barrett from the All Black side of halfway puts the kick up. Will Jordan leads the chase. What a take at the back from Ramos, was it? The crowd boos. Baying for a penalty, but it's not coming. It was a fair challenge. Now, just a kicking duel. Barrett off the side of the boot slightly, puts it high again. Contestable. France come down with it just on their side of halfway. Through the hands they go. And another kick in behind the line. Nobody back here for the All Blacks. It bounces awkwardly for France. There was a lot of space in behind the defense there. And the All Blacks get a penalty. Helter-skelter stuff here to start this game. 5 points to 3. The All Blacks are up. Great vision there for France. There was plenty of space in behind the All Blacks defense there. Jordie Barrett was back very deep. Oh, this kick has failed to find touch. And another great clearance for France. Bounces kindly. And Mo'unga returns it. 40 out from their own line here. The All Blacks decide to run it this time. Barrett fires the cutout pass to Taleo. It was forward, surely. And it's called forward. And it's going to be a scrum down here, France. Inside All Blacks half. It's fast-paced. It's scrappy. Pressure plays. Rugby World Cup 2023 is well and truly underway. Oh, you've got to love it. Jordie Barrett throws his hand up, says, yep, my bad. It was just a little bit forward, that one. My apologies. Here we go. First scrum of the game, isn't it? Is it? Yes, I think it is. First scrum of the game. Let's see how these packs match up. The All Blacks have wasted a golden opportunity The early try, it was a chance to silence the crowd. But they could not keep the crowd silenced. Gifting France that penalty goal back to make it 5-3. Well and truly brought the crowd back into it. Scrum down here for France. It's been reset. Referee Jaco Piper has moved over to the other side. He wants a closer look at those front rows over there. They bind. They set. And it's a stalemate at scrum time. Big scrum from both teams. Aaron Smith sacks his opposite number. And France are forced to kick in behind the line. Talea makes a mess of it. It's gone backwards, but it's scrappy. And he gets away from the first up tackle and marches forward. Talea does well in the end. But boy, he made it hard. Will Jordan with the clearing kick. It's a monster. It's taken on the full by France inside their own 20. Clearance into touch. It's another quality touch finder. Boots all through this backline for France. Another quality clearance up over halfway. Nine and a half minutes gone. It feels like it's been 30. James Jason Bourne, ahoy! Yes, indeed. Only just woke up in time, mind you. I mean, I woke up once and went, yeah, not happening. And I had a little snooze for another 10 minutes. And then I struggled up after the 10 minutes. There was a part of me that really wanted to stay in bed, though. I have managed to struggle up. For people that aren't aware, here in Australia, it is 5:30 a.m. right now. This is very early in the morning for us. All Blacks throw into the line out. This one's pinched and France have the ball back. Spreading it wide now. And France just starting to gain a little bit of ascendancy. A surprising start. The start to the match took everybody by surprise. And now an error at the back of the ruck. It's been knocked on. And there is a let-off for the All Blacks. Connor Crowley says it is a good match so far. It certainly is. Frantically paced. Vobsy says I'm running on zero sleep because I had no faith in myself waking up. Well, considering that you're not even a fan of the rugby union, Vobsy, I think this is a very solid effort for you to have stuck around for this one. I'll drink to that. Another scrum down, almost exactly the same place as it was last time in terms of distance from the goal line, just the opposite side of the field. And New Zealand feed. There was a stalemate last time, very evenly matched here. And this will be a free kick for New Zealand. Free kick for New Zealand. Oh, thank you, James Jason. Right on the ball with that one. I don't even know what that was. That was the weirdest spam I've ever seen in the chat room. France. Wow, this is big. Let's not forget Sam Cane already ruled out. And now France have lost one of their forwards through injury. off the field. This ball bounces and the All Blacks just shadow it into touch. But yes, off the field. Oh, we've got a penalty to France. Video referee has stepped in, I'm assuming. And a penalty to France. So Malvaka is on. Marchand is the player who's gone off for France. Julian Marchand. Some foursome backs here. Will Jordan now. He has his attempt. Puts it straight down the middle of the field. And now a chance for France to respond. Finding some space. It bounces kindly for Beauden Barrett now. And he's got an eternity to put this kick away. Keeps it in the field of play. Bounces awkwardly. Ramos. This time he says, nope, I'm going to fire it into touch. Oh, and there's a very dejected looking Julian Marchand on the sideline. It's going to be New Zealand line-out throw. They've won, I think they've won two, the All Blacks. One's been pinched. They try and get up on that one, France. But the All Blacks have the ball. Smith. Scott Barrett now. Going forward, finding some meters. All Blacks just going through the forwards at the moment, up towards halfway. Whitelock feeds it out now. Beauden Barrett sends it to Ioane. Ioane dummies, goes on his own. Up to halfway. Big defense in midfield here from France, though. Nowhere to go for the All Blacks. They can't get over the halfway line. Oh, loose pass out the back. Jordan now. Basketball pass over to Talea. Talea one-on-one. Beats his man. Runs back in field. Is taken down. Will Jordan, kick and chase for himself. The challenge has been cleared. France, return kick. It bounces up for Beauden Barrett inside the 20, and Barrett will clear, looking for the touchline, and that is a monster kick from Beauden Barrett. Rob G, ahoy there, mate. I don't think it's going to catch on somehow, Rob. I'm assuming that the Blahs are the All Blacks. I don't think it's going to catch on, mate. Somehow. France now with the throw into the line out. Oh, they go short. And now breaking down the blind side. A kick from the hooker. He's taken out after. That's got to be cleared if the last one was. Malvaka. The big fella. Make it a break down the sideline. Beauden Barrett will just tap this down in goal, and it'll be a line drop out for the All Blacks. Oh, the crowd has erupted in a chorus of boos, but there was absolutely nothing in that. "16 minutes gone, 5 points to 3. Let's not forget that. There's actually been points scored. 5-3 in favour of the All Blacks. Barrett with the dropout. They've let it bounce here, France. And now winding up and charging forward is Aldrit. France lose the ball forward. New Zealand keep it alive. Smith at the back to Beauden Barrett. Beauden Barrett pops it up for Mo'unga. Mo'unga fends off one. Offloads to Talea. Talea cuts back in field. Beats the first up tackle again, Talea. And then loses it forward. Losing it forward in the tackle. And it's going to be another scrum down here to the home side. They're in the attacking zone. France. They haven't really threatened the All Blacks try line as yet, but here is a golden opportunity. Scrum down 30 metres out. A chance to launch a set play. And just a loose carry there from Talea, the try scorer. Here's a moment. 17 and a half gone. France, their first real opportunity to strike. The crowd has come to life. And it's a penalty. It's a full-arm penalty. And this is an opportunity for France now to go ahead. Take the three. Take the three. A penalty right out in front. And France are staring down a 6-5 lead in this game now. David Vinak, ahoy there, welcome along. David says, go All Black. Let's go, All Blacks. And France, they are about to take the lead in this one. Crazy to think. The All Blacks have had 62% possession, and they are staring down a deficit. Only 1 point deficit. To be honest, Vobsy, the scrum's a little bit of a lottery. When I played, I was, this is straight down the middle again, and France take the lead, 6-5. The scrums are a bit of a lottery, Vobsy. In all honesty, I couldn't. The scrums are a bit like six agains in the rugby league. You don't necessarily know why they've been called. You just sort of accept it. So, but on the back of that penalty, France take the lead, 6-5. Setting up the clearing kick, a box kick from the back of the ruck. It's a good one. Finding a lot of distance there. And the All Blacks now return, putting challengeable kicks up, the All Blacks. It's definitely a tactic at this point. Their kicks are not long, not trying to find space. They're just putting them up, trying to challenge. Mwanga takes it at the back on the full. And once again, high ball, kick chase, pressure on. Taken at the back by Ramos. Then there's no mistakes in coming here for France. They're very solid under those high balls, and the All Blacks might want to rethink that strategy because it is just gifting field position here to France, who now spread the ball and slipping over his own feet out wide there brings that play to an end. But France still have the ball here in midfield. It's loose. It's kicked through. It pops up for Talea. Now Talea puts the kick in. And now there's the mistake. There's the mistake from Ramos. Wow, of all the balls to drop, he's probably dropped the easiest one that he's had all night. That is incredible. Ramos has been so solid under the high ball, and he's gone and dropped that one. I think he was as surprised as everybody else, the fact that the kick actually went down his way. Now here's a chance for the All Blacks. Scrum down, 20 out from the French line. A chance for them to strike back. Look at the size of that guy. My God. There is one big unit. I think that's Mavaka. The crowd continues to be in chorus. The All Black scrum is fed. Stalemate again. Both packs holding up. Out the back to Smith. Barrett into the line. Bowden, that is. Bowden Barrett. The ball is presented. They've got a line out here to the right. Mo'unga steps inside. Can't free the ball up. Richie Mo'unga. Still All Blacks ball. Staying on the blind side. 5 out from the line now, New Zealand. Scott Barrett finds a little bit of space. Plants the ball back. They're a metre short here. Scott Barrett's at the back of the ruck. They pass out, though. 2 out from the ruck. De Groot charging forward. Pick and go here from the All Blacks. Release is called. It spills back. It's at the back of the ruck here. Still a metre short, the All Blacks. Keeping it in the forwards. Not releasing the ball. Just waiting. Penalty advantage. Now they might release it, the All Blacks. Smith will free it up this time, surely. Scott Barrett, 1 out from the ruck. Loses the ball. And it will be a knock-on. Penalty advantage. And they'll come back. I thought for sure they would have released that ball once the penalty advantage was called. Anyways, here's a gift 3 points. Take the 3. I understand this shirt does say take the 2. This shirt does say take the 2. But they are going to go for post, surely. Take the 3. And New Zealand are about to reclaim the lead. Oh, what a frantic game. The crowd is booing. Why is the crowd booing? I don't understand why the crowd is booing right now at the All Blacks' choice to take the points when their team, their only points have come through penalty goals so far. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Maybe something happened off camera that we didn't see that riled up the crowd a little bit there. Surely they're not booing at New Zealand taking the shot at penalty goal here. Richie Mo'unga lines this one up, puts it right down the middle, and New Zealand reclaim the lead in this seesaw match. 8 points to 6. They go ahead. This game just going back and forth. The All Blacks with the only try of the match so far, and then trading penalty goals. Kanye Ketchup says France has the best emblem. Le coq. Le coq. I really like, well, the old Los Pumas, the old Puma. Argentina have updated their Puma, and it looks so much less intimidating. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but yeah, the old school Puma. I'm like, now there's a logo. They've updated the Los Puma, and it's just such a friendly looking Puma. We've got a little bit of time wasting going on here. Oh, there's a water break. Is it extreme? Okay, so obviously I'm not European. Is it like extremely hot in France at the moment or something? Because both teams were just allowed a water break before this game gets back underway. Now, we've seen that happen here in Australia with the NRL. We have witnessed that in the past in extreme heat conditions. Every quarter or so, they get a water break. I'm just wondering, anyone familiar with the conditions over there in France? Offside from the kickoff. Oh, what a rookie mistake here from France. Offside from the kickoff. And it's going to be a midfield scrum for the All Blacks. They can launch a set play here. Oh, that is just a rookie error from France. "26 minutes, 30 seconds gone in this one. Scrum down." Crouch calls Yucko Piper. They bind. They set. Solid scrum again. Penalty to France. Penalty to France. Dropping to his knees there. The All Blacks forward, Ethan de Groot, dropping to his knees, and France are going to take a shot here. The penalty is 50 metres out right in front. I mean, this penalty was bang on the halfway line. And Ethan de Groot, yes, de Groot just losing his footing there in the scrum, under pressure. And France have said, we will take the 3. Thank you very much. "50 metres out, right in front, Ramos. He's kicked 2 so far. I have got absolutely no doubt he's capable of the distance. Right in front, this is a great camera angle for it too. He's put it on target, plenty of distance. Oh, there was distance to burn. And France retake the lead, 9 points to 8. France lead 9-8. From the halfway line, he could have kicked that from 60 out, right in front. Ramos. All Blacks get us back underway. 29 minutes gone. And this game on a razor's edge, as we expected it to be. The All Blacks still with the only try of the match so far. Clearing kick from France. Deep inside All Blacks territory. They go quickly. Barrett puts it high. Chases his own kick. It's a clear tactic tonight. He reclaims it. Beauden Barrett. Now Savia puts the kick in over the line. Trying to keep France pinned down. Counter ruck is good for the All Blacks. They get the ball back. Whitelock out to Scott Barrett. Barrett in midfield. He's taken down. It's All Blacks ball. 25 out from the French line. They go onto the left-hand edge. Mwanga beats the first tackle. Gets through. Puts Talia into space. Talia cuts back in field. And he's taken down. They're 15 out from the line now, the All Blacks. De Groot in midfield. Loses the ball forward. And France come away with it. It's loose out the back. The pass And a clearing kick is made now by Pinot. Now, who's at the back? Nobody. Jordie Barrett racing back and is forced to take the ball into touch. It'll be a throw into the line out for France in All Blacks territory. It's going to be France ball. That's a result for them. Scrappy there from the All Blacks and nobody at the back. 10 minutes to go until the halftime break. And France with a line-out throw in New Zealand territory. This could be massive. Don't forget Marchand off the field. Molvaka is on. He will be taking the throw into this line-out. France throw. Uncontested. Taken down by Woki. Rolling maul set up here for France. They're still going here. 10 meters upfield. Inside the 20. They reset. Numbers in behind the ball here. Now France, they release it. Taken down without any real threat there. 22 out from the All Blacks line. Sticking to the blind side here, France. Fair challenge here. Fair contest for the ball. And this is now it's not a fair contest for the ball. It's another penalty to France. They can extend their lead here. It's wide out. It's on the sideline. But I dare say, the way that Ramos has been kicking, he would be backing himself to put this one over. Looking to extend the lead for the French. Jaco Piper says, yes, indeed, they are taking the shots. France looking to extend their lead. This game has been as close as we anticipated it being. You would have to, at this particular point in time, just 1 second, sorry. At this particular point in time, you would just have to give the slight advantage to France. Not just, obviously they're in front on the scoreboard, but they've just been slightly dominating territory and possession towards the back end of this half. And they are well worth their lead at the moment, which could potentially be extended by 3 more points here. Ramos lining this one up from the sideline. He moves in, he strikes it. It's hooked off to the left. Ramos has missed it. Just pushes that away to the left. A let off there for New Zealand. 9 points to 8 it remains. Six and a half minutes to go until halftime. Mo'unga with the dropout. France kick the ball straight back. Oh, this is an awkward bounce for the All Blacks. It's through the feet of Mo'unga. He goes back and retrieves it. Is forced to clear. Clears into touch. Just short of halfway. Not a lot of distance on that kick. And France will have an opportunity from this line out to launch an attack. Keeping the ball down the All Blacks end of the half as we approach the break. James Jason Bourne, home time. Yes. Line out throw. It's loose. It's lost forward by France. Will Jordan puts it high. That nullifies the advantage for the knock-on. Now, France. Dummy the kick. He runs. Taken down in midfield. 25 out from their own line here, France. Another settling ruck. DuPont. Ball's available. DuPont looking for the box kick. Puts it downfield. Taken on the full at the back. Mo'unga. Infield to Barrett. Barrett looking for options. Decides to put his head down and run into contact. Scott Barrett now. Beats the first tackle. Beats the second. Falls over. But they're inside France territory. Now a pick and go from Laulala. All Blacks ball. Shape out to the left. Ioane steps in. Can't beat the first up tackle. Talea. Pick and go. Well contested and ruck turnover. France come away with the ball. Now they can counter-attack, keeping the ball alive. It's with Ramos. Ramos from inside the 20. Boots it upfield, over the head of Barrett. And they are just pinning the All Blacks down in territory here. And that is a quality kick from Beauden Barrett. It's going to be a line out for France, deep inside their own territory. Jason Bourne says, do you think France does leapfrogs at footy training? Oh, God. We used to do that. I used to hate that. It was my, like, when we were kids. Oh, and it'd be leapfrog in training. I'm like, why? When are we ever going to do this in a game? This is the height of stupidity. Oh, I hated it. I hated it, but we used to do it. Three and a half minutes to go till the halftime break. France with the 1 point lead. The All Blacks with the only try of the match so far. Uncontested line out. France come down with it. DuPont releases the ball, puts the clearing kick in. Taken on the full at the back here for Mo'unga. Barrett, another quality clearing kick. Do France go quickly? Yes, they do. Ramos throws in for himself. Puts the kick back downfield and says, have another go. Mo'unga this time. Plenty of time to clear. Clears into touch. Finding a lot of distance again. Stalemate. 3 minutes until the break. Mr. Edsdead says, same here. It was for strength. Leapfrog was for strength. Well, there you go. Uncontested in the line out again. The All Blacks, they're not after the ball. They're just willing to defend. I thought with a couple of minutes to go till half-time, you throw up a contested line out. Mo'unga catches the ball. Barrett is caught at the backbone, and Barrett under pressure does plant the ball back. Talea up towards halfway. Sets it. Aaron Smith to Savia. Space out here to the left for the All Blacks. Mo'unga dummies. Fires it out over the top. Papali'i. Dalton Papali'i. He's still going. And now, front foot ball for the All Blacks. Can they score an important try or points of any kind going into the break? Traditionally, they pull it off. France will have something to say about it, though, I'm sure. Smith, the crash ball for Barrett. Staying on this blind side now. Beauden Barrett into contact. Will Jordan now chopped down in a great legs tackle. 7 phases they've gone through here, the All Blacks. They're close to the line. They're 15 out. Staying on the blind side. 1 out from the ruck again. Phase 10. When will they release it? They stay on the short side, and it's been thrown over the sideline by Cody Taylor in the absolute worst pass you'll ever see in your life. What in the hell was that? Who was Cody Taylor passing to there? 30 seconds to go till the halftime break. France, line-out throw. Surely the All Blacks contest this one. They've gone short here, France. They go over the back. They throw it over the back and they come away with it. 20 seconds to go till the break. France just secure this ruck ball. The All Blacks had a major opportunity there. Points before half-time. It is kind of their MO over the years, but they've made a complete and total mess of it. Cody Taylor responsible on that occasion, just tossing the ball over the sideline. And Ramos says, that will do us, thanks. 1 point is all we need. He dinks it over the dead ball line, and France going into halftime, 9 points to 8, leading by 1. The All Blacks with the only try of the half, but France just got themselves into territory, earned themselves penalties, and put the goals over. And they go into halftime with a 1 point lead. Waste of World of Sports, halftime here. We're going to have a quick break. We'll be right back to summarize what we've just seen and get ready for the second half. Coming up right after this. Wasted World of Sports half-time here. 9 points to 8 in favour of France. This game is as tightly contested as we thought it would be. The All Blacks with the only try so far, and it happened very, very quickly, didn't it? Very early in the game, the All Blacks surprisingly went across the line from a crossfield kick, Jordie Barrett to Talea. And they went up 5 points to 0 early, and they've been trading penalty goals ever since. France going to half-time with the lead, 9 points to 8. Delicately poised, to say the least, this match. Let's see how the All Blacks come out. The All Blacks, a surprising tactic, I would have to say. A very surprising tactic to... they're putting the ball high in contestable areas. France, for the most part, have been standing tall under the high ball, not making the mistakes. All Blacks not getting the ball back. It'll be interesting to see if they keep that tactic going in the second half, or if they just kick for territory. Jason Bourne needs a coffee. I've got a rum. Does rum count? Rum would work. It'd do the trick, I'm sure. It's doing the trick for me. 6 a.m. That's the only problem. I've been so excited for the Rugby World Cup, but being in France, it's like, it's 6 a.m. for us here in Australia. I didn't even know that a 6 a.m. existed on Saturdays. And yet here I am. Here I am doing my very best. Exciting game so far. That helps. An exciting game of rugby. France holding on to a slender lead here at halftime. 9 points to 8. Oh, how are we doing, chat room? I've got coming up a big afternoon / evening. Wasted World of Sports action coming up. The NRL finals continue. We've got the Panthers playing the Warriors, and we've got the Sharks playing the Roosters. I'm going to have an epic sleep after this one to get ready for that. The action continues right here on the Wasted World of Sports. Those streams are scheduled in, so if you are keen to check them out, head over to the channel, set your reminders. Panthers versus Warriors, Sharks, Roosters coming up later today. The NRL finals continue. Yes, Shaun Johnson is out. Shaun Johnson, I believe, has been rested for the game against Newcastle next week. I'm calling shenanigans. Well, look, I think he has legitimately picked up a niggle. But to get out of resting him, they've just essentially said it's a full-blown injury. I think they are legitimately, though, just resting him for next week in the do-or-die match against Newcastle. Just my personal opinion. Not a whole lot to talk about in that first half. It was a little bit of a stalemate all across the park. France with the lead by 1 point. Good old Mertz. Andrew Mertens. I've got his autograph somewhere, the Mertz. Veronica, ahoy there. You're so tired but don't want to miss anything. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear, Veronica. As I've said, it's 6 a.m. here in Brisbane, Australia. Hey, Sonny Bill Williams. I believe you're wearing my shirt. One of us has got to change, mate. One of us has got to change. This is just not on. Isn't it? Is it electric? 9 points to 8 here at the halftime break. France. What I found interesting, though, is the way... Now, I must admit, I don't know. Something might have happened off camera that created the boos from the crowd, but I'm just... When the All Blacks lined up their shot to go 8 points to 6 ahead, and the crowd was booing the decision to go for goal, I was trying to process that. It seemed like the crowd was booing the decision of the All Blacks to go for penalty goal. And I was trying to process. I'm like, surely something has happened off camera that we can't see that has caused them to boo. Because surely they're not booing taking the kick at penalty goal when their team's only points so far have come from penalty goals. I couldn't process that. I couldn't understand it. Kanye Ketchup asks, has the referee behaved himself today? Yeah, I would say absolutely. I would say that Jaco Piper has been very good. South African referees are generally the best referees in the game. In my humble opinion, South African referees are usually quite good. Craig Joubert has had his moments. But overall, Craig Joubert was good overall. Yeshua Chanki, ahoy mate, how about the Broncos last night? Oh yeah, didn't they get given a gift and a half? Talking about referees, wow. I have never in my life seen a more blatantly biased officiated game in my life than what I had to stand here and watch last night in the opening game of the NRL finals. I mean, they may as well have not played it and just put the Broncos straight through. It was a really difficult watch last night. That was a really, really tough game to get through. Ironically enough, the last time I've seen anything so blatantly one-sided was back in the Cameron Smith Melbourne Storm days. So it's interesting to see Melbourne on the receiving end of something like that. But anyways, yes, Kanye Ketchup, referee's been fantastic so far. Jaco Piper doing a bang-up job. Controlling the game. Not overplaying his whistle. Doing very, very well. All right, Wastewater Sports teams, I'm sure, will be getting ready to come out for the second half. Oh, they are coming out for the second half. Excellent. All right, they're out there now. Good stuff. We are ready to roll for the second half. I was wondering. And here they come. Second half, 9 points to 8 in favor of the home side. The game, as we expected, sitting on a knife's edge. This could still go absolutely either way. All Blacks, it must be said, the All Blacks, the only try in the match so far. Rugby World Cup 2023, the opener. No matter which way this one falls, like I've said, it doesn't matter. All is not lost for the loser, but for the winner, they've made a great statement. France get us underway in the second half. Contestable kickoff. They come away with the ball. Knocked back for France, and they will get first use in attacking range. Wokey with the hit up. They go down the blind side. Dupont to Jordie. Jordie breaks away from one. He's still going. Down the short side. Plants the ball back. France with front football to start this second half. Going through the phases. Now releasing the ball out wide. The pass has gone to nobody. It bounces up kindly for Pinot, but he's got nowhere to go. He has to run back all the way across to the other side of the field. He's run about 700 metres, but he's gone sideways. And the All Blacks shut it down. France still with the ball, though, breaking through. Now Dupont into space. Quick ball now, Ramos. They're 5 out here, France. Here they come. And a penalty to New Zealand. Driving through the ruck illegally there, France. What a let-off for the All Blacks. They were under immense pressure there. In from the side. What a huge, huge let-off. They were well and truly under the pump there, the All Blacks. Points there for France would have been immense. What a start to the second half. France started the second half much the same way the All Blacks started the first half. Line out throw is one. Scott Barrett taps it back. The kick over the top, looking for Will Jordan. It bounces kindly. Jordan's in space. Taken down in a great one-on-one tackle from Villere. Oh, that's fired across the face of the... It's gone forward, surely. Talea gets a... That's... Wow, okay. Forward pass has not been called. We'll have to have a look at that on replay. Everybody stopped. All the French defenders stop, just like I did, expecting the call of a forward pass. It didn't come. The ball bounces for Talea, and he goes over untouched for his second try of the night. Talea gets a double. Everybody stopped. Rico Ioane with the double pump, and then everybody just stops. It bounces up for Talea. He gets a double. France not playing to the whistle. They didn't play to the whistle. I thought it was a forward pass live as well. I really did. I thought it was a forward pass. The entire French team stopped. The All Blacks kept playing, and they get their second try of the night. 13 points to 9. Mo'unga from the sideline. He's had a sighter very early in the game. This is the exact same position that the first try was scored. Welcome along there, James Knapp. James Knapp, thank you very much. James has asked, am I related to Rabbit's Ray Warren? Oh, this time he's overcompensated. Richie Mo'unga has overcompensated and pushed this one out to the opposite side of the post. Leaving points out there, the All Blacks. But they have taken the lead. The crowd has now just seen the replay of that forward pass on the big screen, and they have just erupted. It's a volcano eruption of boos broken out around the stadium. But the try stands nonetheless. They can boo all they want. The Tri-Stans and the All Blacks have taken the lead back 13 points to 9. And that is what the All Blacks do. Striking right after the break. Those key moments right before halftime, right after halftime. They always seem to find a way to come away with points. France did well to shut them down in the first half, but they've let that one sneak through early in the second. Now a terrible clearing kick for the All Blacks, but an equally terrible kick from France. The foursome backs is in a stalemate. Will Jordan puts it down into France territory. And that is now that's a massive kick. And Jordie Barrett will just stand and take that one and will take a bow and say, yep, you got us there. That was a great kick. France win that little game of foursome backs, and it'll be an All Blacks line-out throw. 20 out from their own line. Cody Taylor with the line-out throw. Uncontested. Whitelock sends it down. Ron Smith to Artie Savia. All Blacks in midfield. Oh, that's a terrible mistake. And here's a chance now for France. Had a cheeky little look up at the defensive line there and spilling the ball forward. And now straight through goes France. Flamand fires it back. Dupont. Talea is running the wrong way. Geez, I used to play at juniors with a kid like that was always running in the wrong direction. We're going to come back and knock on against the All Blacks. Scrum down to France. Oh, it was on there. Flamand goes straight through the gap. A cheeky little look up there from Papali'i. Through Cody Taylor. I've got to say that Cody Taylor is having a night to forget. So, plays, ahoy! How are you doing there? Nice to see you as always. France with a golden opportunity here, trailing by 4. Scrum down, 15 out from the All Blacks line, looking to retake the lead. 7 minutes gone in the second half. Yeah, doing very well, thank you, Zoe Plays. Very early in the morning for me. Struggling to stay awake, but an exciting game. An exciting game of rugby presenting itself, which is doing its job, keeping me up and about. We've got a scrum reset here. France will retain possession. Trailing by 4. Quality field position here. 15 out from the All Blacks line. Jaco Piper calls the scrum, the crouch, the bind. All Blacks have shoved early. This will be a free kick to France. Yes, even I saw that one. Stevie Wonder saw that one. By the way, apparently Stevie Wonder, a lot of people are saying now Stevie Wonder apparently can see. Don't want to get into it, Jason Bourne. But apparently, they immediately call the scrum down again here, France. But yes, that one was very clear. The All Blacks with the early shove. Free kick to France. Immediately call the scrum down again. They've got to be very careful this time around. Jaco Piper will be on 0 tolerance this time. It's on this side. Excuse me. It's on this side. Ethan de Groot. He's really got to watch himself. They crouch. They bind. They set. They hold off this time, and they get the charge perfectly timed. The All Blacks. And that's a good scrum. France under pressure at the back. They come away with it, though. They retain possession. Setting things up in midfield. It's loose out the back of the ruck, and the All Blacks dive on it. It's All Blacks ball. Counter ruck is good, though. It's been stolen back by Dupont. The captain leading from the front pinches it back. Although this is spilling out on the All Blacks side. How has that come back? And Mo'unga dummies the kick. Puts the foot down. Can't break through. They must look to clear here, the All Blacks. Surely, Ioane goes into contact. Aaron Smith looking for options. Goes to Laulala. Oh, referee Piper gets in the way. And that's going to be a scrum down. Jaco Piper has got himself in the way there. And it's going to be a scrum down to New Zealand. Aaron Smith has fired it back straight into the perfectly placed pass for Jaco Piper. He should have caught it, actually. But this is a scrum down, New Zealand ball. .22 out from their own line, 13 points to 9. 10.5 minutes gone in the second half. This game very delicately poised. The All Blacks 2 tries to 0. But France, through penalty goals, keeping themselves in this contest. You just get the feeling. You just get that feeling. This is one of those next try scorer wins kind of scenarios. The All Blacks feed the scrum. It's another stalemate. These packs very evenly matched. Off the side of the boot from Jordie Barrett. That is a terrible clearing kick. The pressure is not released. France will have a line-out throw well inside All Blacks territory. Terrible clearing kick from Jordie Barrett. The pressure is still on. We've got a little bit of a stoppage for injury here. I'm curious, what else have we got coming up here in the Rugby World Cup? Let's see what's reasonable for me to cover as the Rugby World Cup 2023 gets underway. So we've got Italy versus Namibia. Who really cares about that? As the line-out throw is won, France bring it down, set up the rolling maul. Savia's fallen underneath. A horrible position for him to be in. And he's copped one in the air, by the looks of it. France still rolling forward here in this maul. Okay, now it has stopped. That is one, says Jaco Piper. Dupont releases. Now they go out the back line. The kick across field. Bounces in space. It pops up. And now here's a chance in the corner. And France, they dive over and score. Pinot will score. We have to have a look at it. But I think he's done the job, although he does not seem too confident. He actually doesn't seem too confident now that we get a close-up on the player in question. Pinot was in wide open spaces. Surely he scores. We're going up to the TMO for review. Oh, and he's lost it. Richie Mo'unga has come up with a try-saving effort here and knocked that ball free. That is incredible. Richie Mo'unga with a try-saving cover tackle. That is amazing. That is a huge moment. Timestamp that moment in this match. Richie Mo'unga. That is a big-time play. That is massive. Try-saving effort. Richie Mo'unga running across. Penode was in wide open spaces. Richie Mo'unga from the side knocks the ball clear. And this will be All Blacks line-out throw. De Groot comes from the field. Tuangafasi on for the All Blacks. Both teams rolling out the subs. Cody Taylor. France get up and contest this one, but Scott Barrett brings it down. The All Blacks 2 meters out from their own line. Pressure. Set up the ruck. Ron Smith at the back. Calling Sam Whitelock in for protection. Looking for the box kick. That can only mean one thing. Ramos takes it to the back. He almost scampers away there. Ramos was probably looking for the touchline there, Smith. Pressure still on the All Blacks here. France with shape out to the right. Dummy in and going on his own, nearly breaking through for Cool. Now Penode. He wants another chance at it. And now the ball spills loose, but it's a penalty to France. Will they take the points? Take the 3. Once again, I understand that photo says take the 2. That's our rugby league streams. There is a brand new line of merchandise that says take the 3. They're not taking the 3. They are putting this into the corner. Oh, Wasted Water Sports, new t-shirt, put it in the corner. Yes, I like it. Put it in the corner. And that's exactly what they've done here. France into the corner. Contested line-out throw. It's knocked on by the All Blacks. Advantage to France. Knock-on advantage. They set up a ruck in midfield. Options left and right. Where do they go? DuPont. They go right. In and away. Now, they get the try this time. Jabert goes in and away. Creates the overlap. Pops the pass over the top of the defence, and Penode this time. Penode gets the try. France lead 14-13. Kick to come. This time he will not be stopped. And France are back in front here. 55 minutes gone. Jalbert, perfect pass. Perfectly timed, perfectly placed out in front of Penode. And Penode scores in the corner this time. No mistakes this time. France take the lead. This seesaw battle continues. We saw it go. All Blacks 5-0. All Blacks 5-3. France 6-5. All Blacks 8-6. France 9-8. All Blacks 13-8. France 14-3. Back and forth it goes. Ramos from the sideline. He missed a penalty goal from here earlier, so he's had a sighter. He's compensated. Boy, is he compensated. This time it's right down the middle, and France, with the conversion, go out 16 points to 13. (16-13). The seesaw continues. Kanye Ketchup says All Blacks need little old Damian McKenzie. Damian McKenzie. D-Mac, the little pocket rocket. All Blacks get us back underway. France clear. Back up over halfway. Oh, Mo'unga spills it out the back. It's gone backwards. Jordie Barrett in midfield. Puts the ball high. Once again, contestable. Oh, taken out in the air here. Surely taken out in the air here. Ramos. And this will be a penalty for France. They're blowing up about it, the All Blacks, but that was pretty clear cut for mine. Pretty clear cut. And we will review this for foul play. There could be problems here for Will Jordan and the All Blacks. Was never contesting this ball. Never contesting that ball. And he is in trouble here, Will Jordan, I dare say. This could be a huge turning point in this game. Will Jordan is a quality player, but honestly, he was never in a position to contest that ball. And he is in big trouble here. Yellow card it is. Will Jordan on report and in the bin for 10. You hate to see it, but it had to happen. He got that one horribly wrong. Will Jordan got that horribly wrong. You have to admit. Card is under review. I don't think it's going to get upgraded to red. Yellow is sufficient. And Will Jordan will spend the next 10 minutes in the sin bin, and the All Blacks will be down a man. Pressure on as France put this into touch. That's huge. The All Blacks have a tendency to lift when they've got a man in the sin bin. We've seen it happen so many times in the past. They have to dig deep now. France leading by 3. Line out throw inside All Blacks territory. They win. They set up a rolling maul. Big moments in this game now. Penalty advantage to France for the collapse. Dupont breaks away. France have the ball still in midfield. It comes out for the All Blacks. Referee Piper will bring it back for the penalty. Do they keep the pressure on here, France? Plug it into the corner. Set up a rolling maul again. Look for another collapse. The All Blacks well and truly under the pump here. They are going to take the points, it looks like. Yes, Ramos will step up. They're taking the points. Once again, okay, this shirt says take the 2, but at pop2yourdrop.com.au, the official merchandise home of Wasted World of Sports, there is now available a Take the 3 t-shirt. I just haven't updated the photo yet. The photo obviously says take the 2 for our NRL finals stream last night. But they are stepping up to take the 3 here. Ramos and France looking to extend the lead. He moves in, he strikes it, and he pushes it past the near post. A missed opportunity there. And it remains 3 points the difference. And we're having a water break. Referee Jaco Piper calls drinks break, which is fantastic. Oh, card review. Okay, I think I just heard the card review is cleared and it remains a yellow. Drinks break here. I'll be right back. All right. So Wasted Water Sports, I'm sure that there are some people in the chat room a little bit more familiar than myself with the current climate in France. But the fact that we're having these quarterly drinks breaks, these water breaks, it must be extremely hot conditions over there. I'm assuming. James Knapp has asked how far out was that kick. So it was about 30 metres out on the right-hand touchline. Bang on the touchline, about 30 out, I believe. Ivan, ahoy, mate. Ivan says, oh my God, no, Will. Yes, Will Jordan did get that just a little bit wrong. Back underway we go. Talea comes down with the high ball, pushes away from one, offloads to Mo'unga. Mo'unga gets it to Barrett, back to Talea. Then the All Blacks go into ruck. Scott Barrett beats the first tackle, still going. Barrett gets the offload away. France shut it down now, and counter ruck is good here from France. New Zealand come away with it though still. Presenting the ball in midfield. Takiaho's on, everybody's favourite Japanese side dish. Smith to Mo'unga. Mo'unga change of direction. Rieko Ioane takes on the defence, beats the first tackle, pops it back in field. They lose it forward here. The All Blacks, another mistake. France come down with the ball. Now they've got numbers out to the left. If they can spread it here, it's opportunity knocking for France. Inside pass, straight through, they go. Chance here. Oh, great cover defence. Scott Barrett, the All Blacks, they close that down. But France march into All Blacks territory. Dupont puts the kick in behind the line. It pops up for Beauden Barrett, and Barrett can clear it up towards the halfway line. Solid kick there from Beauden Barrett under the circumstances. Pressure was on, though. France well and truly on top here. Especially being a man up. Will Jordan in the sin bin at the moment. France win the line out. More pressure here for the All Blacks. Counter ruck attempt. France secure possession. Numbers down the short side. Ioane and Talea team up. Drive him towards the sideline. And they dive on the loose pass. All Blacks ball. They hold on there. Good defense on the edges. Ioane and Talea. Aaron Smith looking for the box kick. Nothing else on here. Steps back into the 22. Puts it high. No pressure at the back here for Ramos. Takes it under no pressure at all. France have the ball back. Papali'i goes in for it. Can't secure possession. Box kick over the top and out on the full. We come all the way back to the halfway line for All Blacks ball. "62.5 minutes gone. We are getting into the business end of this game, and it has remained as close as we thought it would be. 3 points the difference. Aaron Smith is off. Finley Christie is on. Uncontested, the All Blacks win the line out. Just shy of the halfway line. Finley Christie, this will be interesting. The counter is good from France. Pressure on for the All Blacks to release. They do. Savia brings it away. Scott Barrett. It's loose. Scott Barrett loses the ball. It's towed through by France. They dive on the loose ball. They keep it alive now. It's scrappy, but they've got space out to the left. Dupont puts it out in front of the runners. Ficot. Back to Dupont. Pressure on here. France are well and truly on top here. Penalty advantage. Hands in the ruck. They release the ball, but they are playing under a penalty advantage. And here we go. Jaco Piper blows it up. A gift 3 points this time. 22 out, just to the left of the uprights. This is a gift 3-pointer for France. This is extremely kickable. And the All Blacks well and truly under the pump here. Yvonne Landman, ahoy. Yvonne Landman says, go France. They will surely take the points here. An absolute gift here is Ramos even taking the kick? Yes, he is. Okay, Ramos is taking the kick. France to make it 19 points to 13. 16 minutes to go. Well and truly on top in this game. Right down the middle it goes. France. They've got 1 foot over the finish line, France. They've got 1 cheeky foot over the finish line. 19 points to 13. 15 minutes to go. Jordie Barrett gets us back underway. Short kickoff. Scott Barrett gets up and claims it. All Blacks win the ball straight back. Takiaho in midfield. Scott Barrett with the ball back. Feeds it on to Jacobson. All Blacks going through the phases in midfield. Mo'unga, short ball to Papali'i. They spill it forward. The All Blacks, so many mistakes. Knock-on advantage is over as France clear it upfield. Christie recovers it inside their own 22. Barrett thumps it into touch. Up over halfway, but some uncharacteristic mistakes from the All Blacks. The crash ball spilling it forward. And just so many mistakes at the moment in the All Blacks game. 19 points to 13. Will Jordan still in the sin bin. France with the throw into the line out. They win. Flamont brings it down. They set up a rolling maul. The next break in play will see Will Jordan come back onto the field. All Blacks will be back to a full complement. Box kick from the base of that maul. Pressure on. Tapped forward by France. Everyone's missed that one. Now space out to the left if the All Blacks can clear it. The kick across for Talea. He's in space. 1-on-1. Steps back in field. Falls. That will be a penalty, France. Oh, they are well on top here, France. Will Jordan will come back onto the field. Talea was 1-on-1. He stepped back in field, slipped, and that just presented the opportunity to steal the ball. Now, France, they tap. They go quickly. The kick in behind Savia. He goes back and collects it. Fires it off. Back in field to Takiaho. Jordie Barrett in midfield. Says enough of this. Puts the kick in. It's not a good one. It's straight down the throat of DuPont. And now who now loses it forward. And Christie comes away with it. Can't get the kick away. Oh, it's scrappy at best. France are bringing the flair now. They're feeling confident. 13 minutes to go. They're in the lead. Will Jordan back on the field. Poor form that the crowd is booing Will Jordan as he runs back on the field. That's pretty poor form, to be honest. The crowd tonight has been a little disappointing with some of their choices of boos. Big Bad Brody. Here we go. Big Bad Brody Retallick coming onto the field. Sam Whitelock, go and have yourself a rest, good sir. Hey, look, at the end of the day, the crowd has the right to boo and cheer whatever they want. At the end of the day, that's it. I just personally think it's pretty poor form to boo a player coming back onto the field that just got his timing wrong, did not do anything deliberate. Scrum down here for the All Blacks. Still, I don't think I've ever seen a game where the All Blacks have just been so consistently pinned down in their own territory. They have struggled all game to get out of their half. The fact that they've managed to put 2 tries on, despite that fact, it's a testament to the All Blacks, really. They are well and truly under the pump here. France well and truly on top as we approach the last 10 minutes of this contest. Scrum down, Yucko Piper calls it. Crouch, bind, set. Solid scrum again from both teams. Stalemate, it collapses, but the ball frees. Mo'unga out to Barrett. Barrett with the crossfield kick. It bounces kindly for France. They are wrapped up just on their own side of halfway here. France. Dupont with the box kick in behind. It sits up, and the All Blacks come away with it. Christie releases. Papali'i to Takiaho. Through the hands they go. Talia in space. One-on-one with the Pinot. Sorry. One-on-one with Pinot. Pinot takes him down. France attack the ball. They nearly secure a turnover. All Blacks. Now, Bowden Barrett with the kick in behind the line. It sits up for France again, and they can return this into the corner, although it's a terrible kick. Straight down the throat of Havili, but then Havili returns it straight down the throat as well. James Knapp says, sounds like a moment of brilliance is not beyond the All Blacks, though, to nip this one at the finish. Yes, I don't think for 1 second France will be comfortable only leading by 6. Zanin, 1x, All Blacks making so many mistakes. They really are. So many mistakes in midfield as France clear. What a huge kick this is. Although, oh, what's happened here? The touch judge is saying, okay, the touch judge got that wrong. The touch judge got that horribly wrong and is now getting booed out of the stadium. But yes, what a huge clearance kick that was. And the All Blacks are going to have this line-out throw on their own 20-meter line. The touch judge, I'm sorry, tried to take it all the way back upfield. Talia comes from the field. He's bagged a double tonight. He's played well, Talia. Earns himself a rest. 9 minutes to go. All Blacks, they secure the line out. But deep inside their own territory once more. Retallick is on. Feeds it back. Takiaho. Pick and go. Back it goes to Mo'unga. Mo'unga puts it high. Contestable kick. This is a clear strategy tonight. And now it's lost forward. This one's lost. Oh, it's not been called. That's a clear knock on by France. Jaco Piper has called it a knock back. Wow, that's an absolute howler there from Piper. I'll have to see the replay before I'll have to see the replay before I call final judgment on it. The All Blacks don't seem to be blowing up about it, but that looked like a clear knock on from Ramos. We have come back for the penalty. We are coming back. A penalty to France. Surely, with 8 minutes to go, they'll line up the shot at goal here to push this out beyond a converted try. And that will put huge pressure on the All Blacks. James Knapp has asked, am I going to call the Australia game tomorrow as well? Oh, and they have officially called for posts. Ramos will go for posts. It's going to be difficult, James. I've got to be honest. It's going to be very difficult because coming up later today, I've got a big double header of NRL finals action. Panthers versus Warriors. Sharks versus Roosters. A huge double header. A cheeky little early morning Captain Morgan's. It's a very nice drop. I highly recommend the Captain Morgan's. So I've got as Ramos moves in, strikes at France. 22 points to 13. France, with 7 minutes to go, have extended the lead beyond a converted try. The All Blacks now require 2 scoring opportunities inside the last 7 minutes. France have got 1 3/4 feet over the line. Secure the kickoff. Dupont looking for the box kick. France, they clear. Well up over halfway. That's a huge kick, but it's kept in field by Mo'unga. Beauden Barrett puts it high. Ramos kicks back. The foursome backs. France have won the foursome backs tonight. Now the All Blacks. Will Jordan puts the head down. That's what the All Blacks need to do here for the last 6 minutes. Who cares at this point? Just run. That's what the All Blacks are good at. The running game. Papali'i trying to go through. Can't. The defense holds up. Jordan down the short side. Plants it back. 5.5 minutes to go. And France. Penalty. They've tapped and gone. And Jaco Piper has just gone. Bollocks it. France have tapped and gone. Absolutely nowhere near the mark where the penalty was given. But Jaco Piper has gone, you know what? Bollocks it. I'll just let play on. Kick in behind the line. It sits up. France have got the ball. Lost to forward. The ball has been knocked on. The stadium was about to erupt as France went over the line. But it's been called a knock-on. Jaco Piper has just thrown up the white flag at this point. He's lost all control of this match. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that before. Jaco Piper had no idea what was going on. The tap from the penalty was taken nowhere near the mark, but he's just turned around and gone, you know what? Screw it. Let's just play on. Jason Bourne says, would you call this an upset? No, absolutely not. I mean, I would have said France are favourites to actually win the World Cup. So, on their home soil, quality team, playing well, going into the competition with form. Yeah, absolutely not an upset at all. Won the last time that these two teams played. Yeah, certainly not an upset. Four and a half minutes left. It's going to be a scrum down to the All Blacks, but look at this. Look at the position. They are pinned down in their own territory once more. France have just controlled the field position here extremely well. Throughout this entire contest, France have just controlled the field position. This entire game, it feels like, has been played out of the All Blacks' end. They've had to do all their damage from long distance. Jordie Barrett clears. France won't care about that at all. They'll say, kick it back to us all day long. Four minutes to go. 9 points the difference. 2 scores. France aren't going to be concerned with clearing kicks at this point in time. They have the throw into the line out. Yucko Piper giving them the hurry along. France secure the line out once more. They've been very solid at line out time. They set up the rolling maul. 3.5 minutes to go. France, this is their game to lose now. Box kick incoming. Look at the way they're planted here on the short side. Box kick. 3 minutes to go. Okay, All Blacks. Barrett at the back. They must counterattack. They must go through the hands. Barrett, nowhere to go. Solid wall of defense from France, and the turnover is good. Another box kick over the top. Nobody back here for the All Blacks. It bounces up. France have the ball. France will score. That's the game. France will score the try. Jaminet plants it down, and France go up 27-13. Oh, they've had a game plan. They have played it out to perfection. They have dominated the All Blacks in this contest. They have owned the territory, and now they've owned the scoreboard. 27-13, kick to come. France have put this competition on notice. An absolute dominant display. The home team have said, we are here for this tournament. This has really shaken up the finals. Both teams will qualify. Both teams will absolutely qualify out of this pool. All Blacks and France, they will both go through regardless. It's just a matter of who's one, who's two. And France have well and truly stood up here tonight, and they will be qualifying in top spot in this pool. Jaminet, the try scorer, converts his own try. 29 points to 13. France have put on an absolute clinic here against the All Blacks. An absolute clinic. Jordie Barrett with the restart. It spills out the back. All Blacks will get the ball. The throw into the line out. James Jason Bourne asks, who is in this pool? France, New Zealand, and then a bunch of other teams. A bunch of other teams who have no chance, basically. Yeah, there's really no threat of there's no threat of an upset coming from anybody else in this pool from memory. Let me officially look it up for you. As the All Blacks charge forward, the ball spills out, and the French defence holds on once more, standing up inside the last minute. Will we even have time to pack the scrum down? Do we even care? No, says Jaco Piper. He calls time to this game, and France have put on an absolute job. The home... Okay, Pool A. Here you go, James Jason Bourne. Pool A is New Zealand, France, Italy, Uruguay, and Namibia. To be honest, though, if the All Blacks throw up this amount of handling errors, Italy will put on a show. I don't think it's going to happen, though, but I'm just saying the All Blacks need to be a lot better. 100% better. Bruce Clark, I, for one, cannot wait for Scotty Razor Robertson to take over this squad. Ian Foster has been a disaster from the very beginning. They took too long to make the call, and Ian Foster basically had to take this team into the World Cup. But, yeah, the All Blacks under Ian Foster have been a disaster. I think that's fair to say. The All Blacks under Ian Foster have been a shell of themselves. And Scotty Razor Robinson can't come into the coaching gig soon enough. But I totally appreciate why it would have been his call. I guarantee you it would have been his call. Said, I will obviously take the job, but I'm not doing it. I'm not just jumping in as the World Cup is about to begin. I don't want to take those damaged goods. That's just my 2 cents anyway. David Vanuck says, no, we lost. Not only lost, it was domination. France put on an absolute show tonight. Now, here's one thing that I am very particularly interested in. I'll just jump over to the other screen for a moment here. Before I get into this, a very special shout out to the Wasted World of Sports All-Stars squad. The All-Stars squad, of course, made up of YouTube channel members, Patreon members, and YouTube super chatters. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. James Jason Bourne, Justo the orchestrator, Who's Your Caddy, Will, Kelly, Mr. Ed's Dead, The Knee Crumbler, Robert M, Gamer Mel, Far C, Aussie Mozzie, Obi, Shack of Hearts, Vobsy, Andrew O'Grady, and The Arcade Angel. Thank you very much. As I always say, your support, not expected, but very much appreciated. Thank you very much, Wasted World of Sports All-Stars squad. Okay, now, what was I even going to talk about? I've forgotten. I've done the shout-outs and I've completely forgotten my train of thought. But anyways, wow, what a game we have seen. France have ended up winning it quite comfortably. I don't think anybody really expected the score to blow out at the end, but don't let that scoreline fool you. It was a tight, closely fought tussle. France, I feel, were always on top. They just dominated territory and possession for the entirety of that game. They were well worth that points differential. They really were. James Knapp has asked, what's Eddie got in store for us? Honestly, nothing. I really don't think anything. But to be fair, I've said this about Wallabies teams in the past as well. 2015, I said the exact same thing. The Wallabies have got nothing. Well, didn't they just get all the way to the final? In fairness, they didn't deserve to be. Scotland had the Wallabies beaten in that, what was it, the quarterfinal? Was it the quarterfinal or the semi-final? But you know what I'm talking about, right? The big call, the big disastrous call from, I want to say it was Craig Joubert. An absolute horror of a call that robbed Scotland of a famous victory and put Australia through. And thankfully, the All Blacks absolutely pumped them in the final. Brandon Latimer says, let's just forget this. Today is all about the Wars. Speaking of which, wasted world of sports. Coming up later today, Penrith Panthers, New Zealand Warriors. The NRL finals will continue. I'll be covering all the action here on the Wasted World of Sports. Shack of Hearts says, Will Jordan, that was a dangerous tackle. The one that he was sent to the sin bin for, Shack of Hearts? The one that he was sent to the sin bin for, or something else? The one that he was sent to the sin bin for, it was just, he just got his timing wrong. Completely wrong. It was absolutely deserving of a yellow. I don't think it needed to be upgraded to a red. I think common sense prevailed at the end, personally. And yellow card was sufficient for mine. But, Will Jordan. You don't see it very often, but, he got that horribly wrong. Sonny Bill Williams, you're still wearing my shirt, mate. I told you to go and change. We can't both be wearing the same thing. It looks better on him, though. I'm not going to lie. Looks very good on him. All right. What was I on about? Can't remember. Why does Justin Harrison look so sour? You'd almost think that the Wallabies were out there and lost today. Justin Harrison looks so sour. But yes, anyways, yes, Brandon Latimer, the NRL coming up later today. Penrith Panthers versus New Zealand Warriors. Wasted World of Sports. The coverage of the NRL finals continues. Sean Johnson out. That's the big news out of that game. Sean Johnson out. CH1301. Ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. Unfortunately, worse than expected. Getting a 14-point loss against the French when you are leading 13-9 is just unbelievable. Razor save New Zealand. Well, Razor will be saving New Zealand. Unfortunately, not until after this World Cup. I really look forward to it. I really do. It's interesting, isn't it, how good players don't necessarily make good coaches. Like Scotty Robertson was a decent player, but he was hardly like a superstar. Do you know what I mean? He was not going to be in anybody's World 15, but he was still a quality, solid player. But it's interesting how... it's interesting. Thank you. Oh, Brandon Latimer, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome along to the Wasted World of Sports family. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, Scott Robertson was not a World 15 level player, But he's come along and he's turned into a World 15 coach. He's a quality coach. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. But then you've got really quality players that go into coaching and just stink the joint out. It's really, really interesting to see. I mean, Todd Blackadder, for example. I mean, Todd Blackadder, okay, not necessarily a World 15 class player, but terrible coach. Terrible coach, wasn't he? I mean, I think, if memory serves me correctly, he might have won a Super Rugby competition or two, but inheriting that Crusaders squad that he inherited, it'd be hard not to, right? I actually don't know. Did he win? Actually, let's look this up. Surely Todd Blackadder, with the squad he had available, had a victory or two in his time. Let's actually check that out. By the way, terrible. He was the captain of the All Blacks during a real horror period, wasn't he? Todd Blackadder, Anton Oliver. Oh, those poor guys were on an absolute hiding to nothing. The All Blacks were going through a very dark period back in those days. CH1301 says, what disappointed me the most about tonight was the All Blacks strategy. Oh, don't get me started. Okay, what was... Okay, here's my question. And I appreciate that you probably don't have the answer, CH, because none of us do. I don't understand what I was watching, and I'm sure that there's a lot of us All Black supporters in the exact same boat going, what was the idea behind the consistent kicking high to contest rather than kicking deep? I've never seen an All Blacks team just constantly put the ball high in incontestable areas, yes. But France proved themselves in the first half that they were secure under the high ball. They didn't change it at halftime, though, and this has always been the thing with Ian Foster does not seem to have a plan B. Plan A was obviously put the ball high, put them under pressure with kick chase, contestable, force mistakes. The mistakes weren't incoming. Surely there was an opportunity to go into the sheds at halftime and go, all right, the up and unders are not working. The up and unders not working. Let's put it through the hands in the second half. But no, they came out in the second half and did exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. High balls, contestable, yes. I understand contestable kicks. But when it's not working, France were just so secure. Ramos, man of the match performance for mine. The French fullback. Solid under the high ball all night long. I don't think he made one single mistake. And they just kept doing it. I mean, the definition of insanity is... Chat room, definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And all game. I mean, even with 5 minutes left and trailing by 9 points. They were trailing by 9 points with 5 minutes left and they were still kicking. Like, surely at that point, you've got to throw caution to the wind and put it through the hands. And even in that situation, Jordie Barrett was kicking for touch. And I felt like there was no strategy tonight from the All Blacks. But that, in all honesty, sums up the Ian Foster era. There's no plan B. Under Ian Foster, the All Blacks have been clueless a lot of the time. Sonny Bill, you still haven't changed your shirt, mate? We can't have this. We can't have this wardrobe clash. I'm telling you, this is not on. Anyway, Johnny 5 Red 42 says, great job for still going and giving your thoughts. Thank you, mate. I do appreciate the feedback there. Johnny. Patrick Jacobs says, a lot of kicking and the box get criticised. Very unfairly too, by the way, Patrick Jacobs. I'm a big fan of the Springboks. It's all part of the game. It's a part of the game. What I particularly love, now I cover a few different sports and sports entertainment here on the Waste of World of Sports. But what I particularly love and have always loved about rugby union is all the different ways that you can play the game. Like England do it through the forwards. The All Blacks traditionally do it through the backs. The Springboks do it through the boot. And it's all fair game. Criticise nothing. It's all fair game. Play to your strengths. And one of the Springbok strengths traditionally has been kicking. One of my favourite all-time players, I'm not even lying, one of my favourite all-time players, Percy Montgomery. Okay, Percy Montgomery was known to have a brain explosion or two. But honestly, what a player. I would have him in my squad any day of the week. If I'm picking an all-time World 15, Percy is in there. James Jason Board says, and Australia does it through flukes. Well, these days they do, to be honest. To be honest, these days they do. The Wallabies, we've got to go back to the days of George Gregan, Stephen Larkham. I tell you what, the Wallabies, they used to have a squad and a half. My God, they used to have a squad and a half. George Gregan, Stephen Larkham, Daniel Herbert for mine. Talking about World 15s, a player who goes really, really underappreciated, Daniel Herbert. What a player. Oh, as an All Black supporter, couldn't stand him because the son of a bitch just never made a mistake. He was solid in defense. He was solid in attack. It just never, ever made a mistake. Daniel Herbert. If you're picking a World 15, Daniel Herbert is your walk-up starter for number 13, outside centre. But, yeah, what a squad they used to have. John Eales, hated him. Couldn't stand him. But I couldn't stand him because he was so goddamn good. Yeah, the Wallabies, they used to have an immense squad back in the day. Oh, God. Johnny 5 Red 42 says the All Blacks just don't have that never over ability anymore. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say, really. Like Ian Foster, I've never been a fan of Ian Foster. I was not a fan of him even getting the job. Never a fan of him getting the job in the first place. Like, it should have gone through an actual process. The fact that it just went from Steve Hansen straight to Ian Foster, I thought that was a really questionable decision. And it's proving to be the case. I don't think Ian Foster has a plan. I think he's really out of his depth. Some people, and we see it in the rugby league, Wasted World of Sports, we cover a lot of rugby league. NRL is our primary content. We cover a lot of rugby league, and we see it there as well. Assistant coaches aren't necessarily capable of stepping up into the head coaching role. Just because Ian Foster was sitting under Steve Hansen in the assistant's role for the All Blacks and was part of that system didn't necessarily mean he was going to be able to step up and fill the head coaching role. And I think that's the mistake that they made when they appointed him. He was unproven as a head coach at that level. So, anyways, the benefit of hindsight and everything, it's easy to look back and say, okay, his tenure has been a failure. It's easy to say that now on reflection. Who's to say it would have been any different any other way around? Hosea XCI says, what's the time over there, Dan? It is 7:30 a.m. CH1301 says, agreed. Foster should have been fired after 2019. Big mistake keeping him. And 4 years later, things just got way worse. Way worse. Oh, yeah. I mean, the signs were there very early on, and there was no improvement. And they just left it too late. They left it way too late to bring Razor in. Now, Razor is coming in, but it was too late for this World Cup. Way too late. A cold one at 7 a.m. Well, it's 5. What do they say? It's 5 p.m. somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? It's drinking time somewhere. Why not? And I'm still going from last night, to be honest. To be perfectly honest, still going from last night. The Broncos versus the Storm in the opening game of the NRL finals. What a bloody shambles that was. My God. Bob Money says we should have got Razor. Razor is incoming. Razor is incoming. Not soon enough for the All Blacks. It is interesting, like, when you look back over the history of All Blacks coaches, how quickly they've been thrown under the bus in the past. But it kind of changed, didn't it, with, I suppose it kind of changed with Graham Henry. Graham Henry was sort of like the first coach that was failed, but got to stay on. Obi, ahoy mate, how you doing? Not too well, apparently. Obi's just like, wish I stayed in bed. Oh, do you reckon it's going to get any better later today, Obi? Like, the Warriors are on a bit of a hiding to nothing against the Panthers, aren't they? CH1301 says, Razor's first assignment, find a new All Blacks captain. Yes. Yeah, look, Sam Cane, obviously Sam Cane was ruled out at the last minute tonight. Didn't play. But Sam Cane has really not been... not a whole lot positive to say. I would actually put... I was talking about them earlier. Todd Blackadder and Anton Oliver, for mine, were two of the worst All Blacks captains. And I've got to say, Sam Cane is probably running a close third. Anton Oliver, for mine, was the most clueless. What really destroyed Anton Oliver for me? I'll tell you this story, if you don't mind. If anyone wants to hear this story. If you don't want to hear the story, you can not listen, I suppose. But, yeah, what really destroyed Anton Oliver for me, because I loved him as a player, I just didn't like him as a captain. And what really did it for me was there was this one time in the Tri-Nations and the Bledisloe Cup. Andrew Mertens knew exactly what was happening. So, New Zealand still had a chance at winning the Tri-Nations. The Bledisloe Cup was gone at this point. Okay? So this was the game scenario. The Wallabies had us beaten. The game was over. The Bledisloe Cup was gone. But the All Blacks was still a chance at winning the Tri-Nations, it was going to come down to bonus points. Andrew Mertens knew exactly what was happening. So the All Blacks were behind by about 10 points and 80 minutes was up on the clock. And they win a penalty, 40 out from the posts. And Andrew Mertens immediately points to the posts. Take the 3, get the bonus point. Anton Oliver steps up and says, no, we'll tap. We're going to tap and run. They tapped. Andrew Mertens just couldn't believe what was happening. Gives the ball up. They tap, they run. Inevitably spill the ball forward. Ironically enough, it might have even been Anton Oliver who dropped the ball, but they make the mistake. The Wallabies' defense holds up, and the All Blacks lose. They don't get the bonus point. And they interviewed Anton Oliver after the game, and they questioned him. They said that decision on full time to knock back the chance at a bonus point, the shot at goal, chance at a bonus point, you took the tap. And his answer haunts me to this day. All Blacks captain stands there in front of the media and asks this question and says, oh, screw the bonus point. Screw the bonus point. We want to be known as a team that scores tries. I'm like, you, too many knocks to the head, Anton. Too many knocks to the head. Who cares if you score tries or not? You want to win the competition. The only way they were going to win the competition was to take that bonus point and then go into the last game against South Africa. They knocked back the bonus point. They went into that game against South Africa with absolutely no chance. Anyways, that's my little vent on why I dislike Anton Oliver as a captain so much. Cody Taylor was terrible tonight. Cody Taylor was absolutely awful tonight. I think I even said that a few times during the stream. Cody Taylor definitely had a night to forget. That's for sure. He really did have a night to forget. A few players did, though, in all honesty. I don't think Ethan de Groot really didn't do anything to stamp his authority on the squad. Will Jordan was very disappointing. Yes. The yellow card aside, he was just really, really off tonight. Dalton Papali'i was awful. A lot of handling errors. I feel like most of the dropped ball, and I could be... What the... Okay, that was weird. I feel like I might be wrong in this, but it felt like Dalton Papali'i was responsible for a lot of the dropped ball, especially in that first half. He really had a night to forget. James Jason Bourne is asking what would happen if the All Blacks get knocked out in the pool stage. Oh, I think the country would go into meltdown. Domestic violence cases would be on the rise. No offense. No offense across the ditch there, but we know it's true. I mean, it's a legit. This is actually a legitimate fact. This actually happened. Was what World Cup was it? What? Oh, God. There was one World Cup. This honestly happened. I don't even think it was a piss take. I think it actually happened. They reported that domestic violence cases rose in New Zealand shortly after they got knocked out of the World Cup that particular year. I wonder if it was 2007. Because 2007 was like a good and proper, like, we was robbed. We was robbed. Against France, nonetheless, funnily enough. All right, hang on. I'm going to have a quick break. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Little piss break. Okay, so CH1301 says we've lacked a proper six tonight in the mould of Jerry Collins, Jerome Kano. We have an extremely light pack that lacks the physical edge. Well, honestly, I have actually had to turn my attention from the chat room to the team lineups to even see who was playing number 6 tonight. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't even realize I've actually had to look at the team sheet and find out who was actually playing number 6 for the All Blacks tonight. And I'm looking and going, Vahi? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. That is how little he was involved. Jacobson, I can see. Jacobson came on and replaced him. And I definitely recall saying Jacobson a few times tonight. Martin Carstens, ahoy there, mate. Thanks for your comments. Based on the performance of New Zealand today, what would their chances be against South Africa? In all honesty, we've got to look at this game in context. It was always going to be a tough first encounter. Obviously, you never want to lose, first and foremost. But look, there were some big outs for both teams. There were some injury concerns around both teams. I don't think, in all honesty, whilst it will surely be devastating to the players, and I'm sure nobody involved in the All Blacks squad will be particularly happy about what happened. We all knew going into this game it could go either way, and there will be finals. There'll be finals rugby regardless. I mean, surely, unless somehow they completely capitulate and lose to Italy, they're still going to be playing finals. And losing Sam Cane, like, we can say what we want about Sam Cane. Obviously, we've bagged him out earlier. We bagged him out. We spent a little bit of time on that. Bagged him out as a captain. But regardless, if you've got a good captain or a bad captain, whatever, if you lose your captain right before kickoff, you're starting number 7, it's really going to throw things into disarray. So, yes, they did, James Jason, but in all honesty, mate, it was a warm-up game at the end of the day, and not to take away from what the Springboks achieved that night, it was a World Cup warm-up. Both teams would have been trying things and not necessarily taking it, I don't want to say taking it seriously. I'll say I don't think, but both teams weren't really with their minds fully on the job. They were trying some things out, and yes, an imposed competitive training session at the end of the day. No disrespect to the Springboks. They put on a masterclass, much like France did tonight, but it was legitimately a World Cup warm-up. And I don't think too much can really be read into that game. That said, if the All Blacks played like this, a very similar thing would happen. So what was I on about? I don't think there's any more alarm bells that need to ring than we already knew, because most All Black supporters have been saying ever since Ian Foster took over and has proven to be way out of his depth, we've pretty much accepted that we're not exactly a world powerhouse at this particular point in time under Ian Foster. It's just not going to happen. So, the result aside, today, I don't think really there's too many surprises. The scoreline probably blew out a little bit worse than was anticipated, but it's certainly not the end of the world. It just changes things up slightly now. The path through the finals obviously changes quite dramatically. But yeah, I anticipated that regardless, both of these teams are going to go through to the knockout phase. Viking Axe, ahoy mate, good morning, good morning. CH says, I must say, I've seen many poor performances for the All Blacks, but tonight hurts. Particularly when you see Dan Carter and Richie McCaw watching from the sidelines when we ruled the world. 2007 aside. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Very, very tough players to replace, though, to be fair. Oh, by the way, Jerry Collins was mentioned earlier. Gotta have a salute for Jerry Collins. The one and only player still to this day that I've seen have a cheeky piss on the field before the game. To Jerry. Gone way too soon. Way too soon. Flopping it out there for the world to see before kickoff. Ah, what a moment. Oh, God. Okay, Western World of Sports. The Rugby World Cup has officially kicked off. 27 points to 13. France, the victors over New Zealand. Terrible performance, really. I don't think I've ever seen an All Blacks performance where they've just constantly been pinned down in their own territory and they just offered up absolutely nothing. I have to question the tactics of the kicking game. The up and unders, yes, they were contestable kicks, but France were rock solid under those high balls. So surely you change it up and say, this isn't working, let's change this up a wee bit. But they didn't, and they persisted with it, and they were found wanting in the end. Anyways, Wasted World of Sports, I thank you so much for your company here. The Rugby World Cup has officially got underway. There will be plenty more games to come that I'll be covering here live on the Wasted World of Sports. Coming up later today, the stream is already active, so feel free to head on over there and set your reminder. Schedule it in. Coming up later, New Zealand Warriors, Penrith Panthers in the second of the NRL finals. What's that? It's coming up at about 3 o'clock. So what have we got? 8, 9. Yes, I have to count with my fingers. I apologize. I'm a bit of a dum-dum. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. So in about 8 hours' time, roughly 8 hours' time, the NRL Wasted World of Sports right here, live. Penrith Panthers, New Zealand Warriors. Coming up. Before I go, though, Martin Carstens says, did I understand you correctly? Your go-to finals opinion that both France and New Zealand may go to the finals. What I'm saying, Martin, is that because obviously two teams from each pool qualify for the knockout stages, which I call the finals. You know, quarterfinal, semi-final. So I guarantee both teams still qualify for the finals. I'm not necessarily saying it'll be New Zealand versus France again in the final. It could quite possibly happen. But both teams will advance to the next phase of the competition. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. All right. Wasted World of Sports. Bob Money says we could see Richie McCaw and Dan Carter suit up if the Italy game is not going too well. Hey, I would love to see it. I wouldn't say no. I certainly wouldn't say no. They couldn't do any worse. All right. Hey, thank you so much. I very much appreciate your company as always. Bright and early here on a Saturday morning. 7:47 a.m. for me here in Brisbane, Australia. Coming up later today, Waste of Water Sports, NRL, New Zealand Warriors, Penrith Panthers. The stream is there on the channel. Feel free, if you're into the rugby league, to come and join us again as I call all that action. Penrith Panthers, New Zealand Warriors, coming up later today. Thank you so much. Catch you next time. Yes. Until then, cheers.